right, so we're here in the Jaguar podcast, and who are we here with? I'm co-hosting for Eddy, by the way. Who are we with?
Mia, Cantu.
And what do you do, Mia?
I'm a florist.
Okay. So Mia's actually my girlfriend, and
Oh,
we're gonna be asking her some questions about her business, how she got into the business, what she scaled, and yeah, a little bit here and there. So first, we're gonna start off, Mia. What made you want to go into being a florist? What interests you? What made you want to go towards that?
I think online there's a lot of different careers that people post, and I feel like I saw some videos about it and it piqued my interest. And then I made a bouquet one time and I realized that I really like it because growing up I always like to do crafts and stuff. So that really allows me to express my creativity in a different way. So yeah, I really liked it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And what do you say would be some difficulties about being a florist? Because I know a lot of people just probably think, oh, it's just about doing flowers. But what do you see are the ups and downs and things that people don't see behind cameras?
Um, I think making time to do it because I'm in school and I work at, um, I guess, a part time job as well. So it's
Her,
really hard to
her
make.
part-time job is her mom's business,
Yes.
which is called Mama's Fitness, or I don't know how to.
Ma'am K
Man Cave
Fitness.
Fitness. I'm sorry. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's hard to find time because it is pretty time consuming to like make the bouquets and form them and actually practice on doing the proper shaping and wrapping and everything. But once you get past that, I feel like it's a little easier to get a flow of things.
hmm What would you say about marketing? I know marketing is very important, especially like her, since you're trying to figure out how to market your stuff. So what would you say? What's something important about marketing? What do you say? How important is it? Like, just tell me a little bit about marketing.
It is really important because without that, you won't really get as many people as you like. Social media is a huge thing today. So if you use that constantly, people will start to see it. It will start circulating more. If you get people to start commenting and sharing, it will circulate around your area more, and it will help you get more clients. So
One
it
hundred
is really
percent.
important.
It's also important to invest into marketing,
Hmm.
flyers, anything that can make you put your name out there. So yeah, marketing is super important. Also, I want to ask you some other questions as well. What would you say is something that is hard about handling schools? As I know you have college classes as well. So how would you say it's hard to handle your schoolwork and your business at the same time? Like, what makes it difficult about it?
I think what makes it difficult for me is the fact that for some reason I have trouble doing homework or assignments like in school. Like if I have free time in school, I can't just sit down and like do it. For some reason, I feel like I can focus more at home, and obviously I'm not at home all the time. So it's hard for me to actually focus on doing it. I feel like my attention span is not that good. But also time management I need to work on because I do get in my little lazy moments sometimes. But yeah, it's just really focusing
Yeah, it's always
on
important
it.
to fight that laziness. Never let the devil win. So yeah, what would you want to tell me if I was trying to build a business? Well, obviously I do have a business, but let's say I was someone different and I was just a normal person. What would you say? What would you give me as advice? What would you tell me? Okay, be aware of this. And what would you tell me something that I must do? What are things that you would tell me if I was trying to build a business from ground up?
I think the main thing, I was telling Kyra this, I think yesterday, or no, a couple of days ago. I think if you want to grow a business and you want to be known for what you do, you have to make it literally your whole personality. Like, you have to talk about it constantly. When people hear your name, they have to think, like, oh, this. Like, when someone hears Dominik, they think, oh, Amigos Landscaping. When they hear me or hear flowers, they think of me. So you have to talk about it all the time and say like what you do all the time, always tell them like, oh, like I've asked a few guys here, like, have you bought your girlfriend flowers recently? Stuff like that. Just like talk about it constantly because that's the only way it's going to really stick to people and like make them think about you and the business together, not just you as your own person.
Yeah, that goes back to marketing. Marketing is just very important.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're gonna get your name out there, put yourself out there. It's super important. Um, and I know she has a couple orders right now. So how are you doing that? How are you managing that right now?
Pretty well. I actually just got back from dropping it off at my house. I bought like like 90 some roses like an hour ago. It is it is a little difficult because, handling things and making sure you get the deposits, because if they cancel, you lose out on that money. But I do enjoy it a lot, having to go and pick up the flowers and see like the results after. But it is going pretty well. I'm getting some more people and
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. And also, she just started the business not that long ago. She doesn't even have a year. So props to her. Also, I wanted to ask you, where do you want to go with this business? Like, is it something you want to do once you graduate high school? Where do you want to go with it?
So right now I'm starting off with bouquets, but as my career, it's not really what I want to do. I do want to work with flowers, but I don't want to just make like the ramo buchons. Like I don't want to do that. Like the big displays of flowers that they have like at weddings, the centerpieces, like the arches of flowers. That's the kind of stuff that I want to go into. I feel like that's like the end of my career that I want to really focus on. But this is just like the start of it, the basics, and then slowly go into like events and weddings, stuff like that.
What would you say about investing? What would you say is investing important in a business, or what would you say investing is that in a business?
It is important to invest, of course. I remember I was on the phone with you when I bought my big order for all my flower supplies, and it was a couple $100s, and I was freaking out because I'm not used to spending that much money at once. But he reassured me, like all that money is gonna come back to me because I'm gonna put it into my business and it's gonna go into my orders, and it will get me more people. So at first it is a little scary, but you start to realize like you have to do that. Sometimes you will lose money, but you have to take risks, like you tell me all the time.
Yeah, you got to spend money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about spending money, and if you don't spend money, don't expect to make the money back. I mean, you can't be stingy with it. You could be stingy with yourself, but you can't be stingy in the business. You gotta always spend whatever dime you gotta spend. Buy that best equipment. You always want to have the best, the best, the best. You always want to go for the best, even if it's more expensive, even if it's a couple dollars more. Buy it. You always gotta buy it, cause that best equipment could go a long way. Even if you're using, like, for example, me, I started off with used equipment, but it's always good to upgrade that equipment because used equipment will always give you more trouble than your good equipment. It's good in the short run, but in the long run, it's not good. I mean, a lot of people say business is easy, but how I said in the other podcast, it's about working 24/7, having that mindset 24/7. Even when you're not, when you're just relaxing, you're thinking, okay, how am I gonna market this? Okay, what am I gonna extend? How am I gonna show people that I'm a florist myself? Because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition around the world, but something that you gotta have in your mind is that there's always someone better, but how are you going to be better for yourself? You're always against yourself. You're never against nobody else, only yourself. Going against yourself is probably an important thing because you always want to be better one day, the next day, always one better, 1% better, always, always. It's very important. It's very important. I mean, especially us. I mean, we're dating. We've been dating since freshman year, and it's been hard, especially when we're like trying to manage a relationship as well, where we're thinking like, okay, well, I mean, because I know a lot of couples think like, oh, you know what, you should spend money and like and buy whatever the couple wants and all that stuff. But something that we manage is like we're not always gonna buy each other things all the time. And that's what business helped us. Like it helped us learn, okay, how we're gonna manage our money and how we're gonna like, okay, when it's time for us, then okay, like we separate it. We don't let it interfere. There's times where we don't we just don't talk about because we're working on our business, but we'll know that hey, like we're fine without talking to each other because we're working on our future. And yeah, what would you say about that? Like I know it's very very like something that's very important, and I know a lot of people, like a lot of like adults go through that, like especially real estate agents, like they go through that. So what would you say is like important about that?
One thing that I've been thinking about a little bit recently is that there's a very unrealistic standard when it comes to relationship, that the man always has to pay, the man always has to buy her gifts, the man has to spend all his money on her, he has to do this, he has to do that. And yes, it's good for a man to spoil his woman, but there's a lot of different things and gestures that you can do that don't involve spending all your money. He has his business, so I understand, if we go out to eat and he's currently like let's say for example one of his lawnmowers just messed up and he had to spend some good money, fixing it. I understand, okay, like let's split it, or like we compromise, because it's not fair, like me expecting him, a 17-year-old who's working on investing in his own business, and me as well, for us to like do everything for each other in a financial type of way. I just don't think that that should be normalized. Everyone has a different opinion, but that's just what I think, especially because we do have our own, businesses that we're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, we push each other. We push each other to grow more. Even a lot. Even if people don't see it, but we push each other. We push each other on the business. Sometimes there's times where I spend like so much money, and I'm just like, damn, like I'm on my couple last dimes. But I mean, she has helped me insecure and like insure me. I mean, insure me with it and be like, you know what, it's fine. The money's always gonna come back, and it's true. The money always comes back. You put the hard work, you do the marketing right, and you treat your workers right, your clients right. It will all work out, and it will all just go like straight. Like if you're just swimming on water, like nice and slow, like it's just perfect. But I mean, it's all about learning how to manage it. Like learning how to manage is one of the most important things. And there's never gonna be a point in a life where it's just straight. There's always gonna be hills going up and down. But honestly, something that has helped me, like, it's just going to church every Sunday helps you, because it's like that's the like where you let it out, like where you let it out, all that stress, all that thing, you let it out, and you're just like, you know what, like right now we're focusing on God. And that's why, like, me myself in my business, I don't work Sundays, because the Sunday is the Lord of the day, and Sunday is the day that, I mean, obviously every day is the Lord of the day, but Sunday is a day that I'm focused more on Him, focus on myself, and focus on what I have to fix, on what I have to catch up, and it's just very important. I mean, I would say following the Lord is one of the most beautiful things ever, especially like in a business and a relationship as well. It helps you grow. It helps you accomplish things that you didn't think were gonna accomplish. Like there was a time where I was my first ever project. I knew I wasn't gonna make profit from it, but I didn't know how I was gonna buy the rest of the material. It was my first ever time doing a project. I didn't know um, if she if I had what I would do, and out of nowhere, just the client offered me money, and I knew it would be like great. But yeah, she has helped me, and she has ensured me that, you know, it's fine. And I have helped her too. I'm pretty sure I have. I mean, what do you
Yeah,
say?
for sure. I didn't know anything about business, and then he's taught me a lot of things because he's read books and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and how is it running a business? Like, would you tell someone in this, like, junior, freshmen, or sophomores, like, should you run a business during school, or should you just wait till after school, after high school, and just focus on it then? Like, what would you say?
It definitely depends on the person, but personally, I do believe that the earlier you start, the better. I definitely procrastinated starting mine for a little while, again, because I was worried that I wouldn't have enough money or whatever the case might be. But even like something really small, you can start. I mean, there's no rush, but there's no need to wait either. Even like for example, me, I could have started a couple years ago and just making things for my family, not really like just for the practice mostly, because if you start later in life, like it's just it's harder to connect with people. Like for example, I'm in high school right now, and I know a lot of couples. I know a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends, so I can go up to them and ask them like, hey, do you want to order for me, etc. But in the future, let's say I don't go to college or whatever the case is, like I'm not going to be as connected to a big community like I am now because I'm in school. There's a lot of people here, and they're connected to other people. It's just like, it's a lot more helpful to start now.
Yeah, it's yeah. All right, would you like to? We're already gonna end the podcast right here. So, would you like to? I'm sorry about that. Would you like to bring someone in, or would you like to talk about a different topic or something interesting? What would you like for the next podcast?
Um, uh,
What would you like to bring in?
I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, I know I couldn't think about
I
anybody
would
either.
say Kyra, but she already did one.
Hmm. What's a topic you would like to hear next?
Something I would like to hear next probably be, I don't know.
I would say
Maybe like sports.
yeah, probably sports. Yeah, it would be interesting. I mean, I feel like Luna would probably be the perfect one since she does
Yeah.
powerlifting and she's been in it. Oh, you
Oh,
already did,
yes,
Luna?
that's true.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
Well, someone else who just
Yeah, someone else that's interested in
maybe Savannah. She does softball.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Savannah.
someone that's into sports. So, yeah. I feel like that would be really interesting knowing the pros and
Yes.
cons of being. I know I used to play soccer, but I kind of went that to the side. So, yeah. I mean, but yeah. And you want to press the button?
This one?
No, the other one. That one.
This
No, this one.
Oh.
15 minutes long was perfect. Now
If y'all want, I can combine y'all's videos so that way if you want it, that's at least a half hour.
the mouse isn't working.
What are you starting from?
He said to shake it. Huh?
No,
Oh.
Oh.